The Global Latin Factor Podcast.
Welcome you and all to another episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast, where we talk about Latino everything. And today, another very special episode because we have not your average bartender, originally from Peru, world traveler. We have Cesar Reyes, a.k.a., you might not like it, Pitbull for the homies, owner of Lokito Cokito Bartending Services in the house. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing great, man. It's a blessed day. Can't complain, you know?
Absolutely. I appreciate you taking the time to coming out here. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, man.
And we're going to talk about all this that we have right here, some of the nice drinks.
Yeah.
Okay, but first, we're going to go ahead and start with one of our most popular segments, which call Preguntas al Chile, which we call...
Preguntas al Chile.
It's all good, bro.
All right, here we go. Tacos o tortas?
Oof, tacos.
Okay. Corn or flour tortilla?
Corn.
Okay. Mexican coca o jarritos?
Ooh, that's a tough one, man. Jarritos.
Okay, what flavor?
De piña.
De piña. All right.
A la niña.
A la niña. Agua de horchata, jamaica o tamarindo?
Ooh, man. Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Salsa verde o salsa roja? Do you like spice at all?
Oh, yes. Yes, we do. In
Yeah?
Peru, we eat roja.
Roja.
Yeah.
Okay. Menudo, pozole. Do you care for either one?
Ooh.
I know Peru is not really so much in that. But
But
you do hang around some Mexicanos.
Yes, I do. I got some of my best friends are Mexican, so of course we eat that after good night.
So which one would you prefer more?
I would
Menudo
say
or
pozole.
Pozole. Nice.
Yeah, pozole.
Okay. Now I'm going to get to some of your dishes from Peru. Lomo saltado o pollo a la brasa?
Oh man, you're killing me now, man. It depends on the mood.
Depends on the mood.
I'll say lomo saltado.
Okay.
Yeah, hands down.
Ceviche o conchas jalea?
Jalea de concha. Oh man, ceviche. Hands
Okay.
down, ceviche.
Cuy or alpaca?
Ooh, I tried them both. That's
Yeah?
I say cuy.
Cuy?
Cuy's
Okay.
pretty good.
Okay, now we have some beers from Peru. Pilsen, Callao, o Cusqueña, o Cristal. Those are
I'll go
Peruvian
with-
beers.
Yeah, those are Peruvian beers, by the way. You know what? I'll go with Pilsen.
Okay,
I like the taste. It's actually smoother than Cusqueña.
nice. What about tequila or mezcal?
I'm a huge mezcal fan.
You are?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Love-
nice. What is it about the mezcal that's different from the tequila you like more?
Because when I started working with mezcal,
Mm-hmm.
it was so very new to the market
Right.
that a lot of people didn't know about it. But I started messing with it. So a lot of my drinks, as a matter of fact, you see these drinks here? This
Yeah.
one?
Mm-hmm.
This is my mangonada, and these two are actually
This one right here.
Yeah, those two.
Okay,
My
those two.
mangonada and my smoky margarita, they're made with mezcal.
Smoky.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's why I call it smoky, because the process of making mezcal, it's about it's a more traditional way
Yeah.
than the tequila. You know, that is more manufactured, right? The mezcal comes from
It's different agave
different
plants.
agave plants.
Yeah, not the
you
blue
have your
agave, which is a tequila.
espadín. Yes, to make tequila is only blue agave. With
Yeah.
that one is espadín, but the way that the process is like smoky, right? So they bury all the maguey plants.
And you can
into a
taste it
clay
in the
pot.
flavor?
Yes, you can taste it. So if you try those two, you're gonna taste the
This one right
smokiness.
here.
My smoky mangonada and my smoky margarita. Those
That
are,
one was smoky too.
yeah, smoky too. Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you like salsa, the
Oh.
regular salsa, Valentina, Tapatio, or Cholula.
Tapatio. No, cholulas. man.
Cholula?
Yeah.
Okay. We're moving on to mazamorra morada or frijol colado.
Mazamorra morada.
Okay. And we have arroz con leche or champús.
Oh, arroz con leche.
Crema volteada o pionono.
Piononos.
Hope I'm pronouncing
Yeah,
it right.
piononos. Yeah. Piononos. Man. It depends on the piononos, because el dulce de leche, so good, man. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Piononos.
for people from Peru, they're freaking known for their culinary. My brother enjoys it very much. We
Thank you.
tried it. We tried a few places here in Dallas, but there's only been one.
You know, I have my friends. What you said is true, right? And not only because you read it,
Yeah.
but I also have experience with friends of mine, right? I take them to Peruvian restaurants, and they say hands down. You can ask my friends.
Yeah.
They say Peruvian ceviche is one of the best ceviches that they try.
Yeah.
You know, and it's because of the way that we make it, right? It's a little different than tomate and, like the Mexican ceviche.
Yeah.
And it has a different flavor too. But yeah, man, that ceviche is one of our big hits. And I have friends of mine that they're not from Peru, and they get hooked up, and they sometimes say, Cesar, ¿qué otra cosa me recomiendas? I'm like,
Right?
damn, bro. Like, you tried almost everything on the menu. I said, dude, it's so good, but I want to try some more. I said, but yeah, it is true, man.
My brother-in-law and my brother, sometimes we get doing a once a month sometimes, and we make different dishes from different places. And we made dishes from Peru before.
Oh, that's
and they were
awesome.
really good. Okay.
Awesome.
And one more question. What is, as a bartender, what is your favorite drink to prepare to people? Whether it's something from Peru or whether it's just in general that you enjoy making that drink.
I enjoy making an old fashioned.
An old fashioned.
Yes. To most, it's something simple, but I came very creative, right, to the way that I do it, right? As a bartender, as a person that creates drinks,
Right.
aka mixologist, we actually a good old fashioned. To me, it's a gentleman's drinks, but I put a touch to it, right?
Nice.
And one of my second drinks is a piña colada. That's how this
colada.
whole concept started, man.
Okay, we're gonna get to that story here in
Yeah.
a little bit about the piña. Okay, tell me the difference. It's just probably my ignorance. I haven't got a chance to Google it. But a bartender and a mixologist, what kind of is the difference in there? Because there is a difference, right, or not really?
There could be that, some people call themselves that, but the difference between this one is that you create drinks, right? You actually get to know the history of the drinks. You actually study the drinks, and you actually prepare yourself, right? For example, like there are people that as a bartender, you know the basics of what it is, of customer service, preparing a drink, knowing the measurements. And mixologists, we actually create drinks like, out of nowhere, right? Or we put our own touch to it. So it's more like a liquid chef.
So
Pretty much.
bartenders kind of go down by the book and then just serve you what kind of sort of like the steps 1 to 3, and the mixologist kind of has their little bit more lenient as far as what can they add and maybe put their own touch to it.
Yeah, we put pretty
I
much
like
you
that.
put your own touch. They refer mixologists as liquid bartenders, I mean, liquid chefs.
Liquid chefs.
Yeah,
Mixologists.
That's what they
First
call
time I
them,
hear
yeah.
that term, brother.
It's called liquid chefs, yeah.
Okay. So when you hear the word Latino, what first comes to mind when you hear Latino?
Latino to me comes as hardworking people. Don't take corners. We're very proud of our culture.
Right.
Latino. We are come from different backgrounds, but at the same time, we are Latinos at the end, right?
Yep.
So to me, that's just that, and just be proud of being Latino.
Okay. And do you care if anybody calls you Latino? Do you mind? It doesn't bother you, or you
No.
prefer to be like, I'm from Peru?
No, not at all, man. I rather, like, yeah, okay, he's Latino, because as you can see all these flags, man, we all come from different countries, but at the same time, we're all Latinos at the end,
True that.
different mezclas.
Absolutely. Okay. I want to touch up a little bit on your, first of all, did you have any questions in mind that you wanted me to ask you about? Because I know I had sent you something. I don't know if you had any questions that you wish I would ask you today at all.
No, man, I think we pretty much touch all that stuff forward, like you said, you're going to ask me something about my background, where I come from, and all that stuff, so we're good to go.
So you were originally from Peru.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about your journey, how you got to? Because I'm originally from Mexico, so I had to migrate illegally.
Yes.
Make myself
yes,
legal,
I am.
or not make myself, but I got the opportunity to be legalized.
Legalized, yes.
And make my way. But you're from Peru, so how was your journey getting over here?
Yes, man, it's been a journey. Why don't I say with capital J, right? I started with my mom immigrated here, right?
Yeah.
I'm Peruvian and half Chinese.
Half
right?
Peruvian, half Chinese.
Yeah, through my grandma. We have a big Chinese community in Peru.
Yeah.
So we are a lot of us. We're mixed, But yeah, that's part of my background. My mom decided to move here when I was, I think, 11 years old. I was born in Peru, by the way, but I never lived in Peru. As a matter of fact, growing up, I grew up in different countries because of
Right.
my dad's job. Right, he worked for Bata, which is a shoe company, kind of like Converse here, right?
Right.
And his job will send him to different countries in Central America, for example. That's why I was living in Guatemala, Honduras, Salvador, Nicaragua. As a matter of fact, my brother, one of them is Guatemala, and the other one Guatemalteco, y el otro es Nicaragüense.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. I mean, they were born there. We're Peruvian, but they were born there, right? But it was a good journey, growing up as my childhood, right? Then, things happen in life, separated, We migrated back to Peru. Things didn't work out very well over there as far as, business-wise and stuff like that. My mom decided to cash out on a business that we had over there, which is a clothing company.
A clothing company.
Yeah, clothing company. My dad and my mom found it, through my grandma, of course.
Right.
But yeah, my mom just decided to, you know what, things were not working out there. So she took the courage of moving here, with nobody, no family, no nothing. So she just just took that leap of faith, right?
Right.
I was young at the time. I didn't know what's going on. I came here, I think I was 12 years old in the year 2000, as a matter of fact. Came here. It was a totally different experience because to me, when I was in Peru, I'm not gonna lie, we had it made at some point, right? I come from a good family, good background with good beliefs, like I said, entrepreneurial family. And coming here, it was like, so who's doing the dishes, Because we have muchachas que hacían las cosas nosotros.
So you have people that would clean,
Clean,
and help out.
yeah,
at the
help
house.
out. My grandma had all that and todo eso. So era una situación que era like from, having my food ready, and then to start doing our own stuff, right? So I was like, oh snap, this is a really turn, a whole 360 on me,
Yeah.
Pero
It's a different world.
It's a different world, yeah. And then especially coming to the U.S., everybody thinks it's easy, it's better, Pero it could be, but it's
Now,
hard
if you
work.
come where you're well off, really good that you have like some people that help you, like service, to come over here, and then you have to do it all yourself.
Coming from, like I said, like a private school or something, but I didn't understand at the time, what was going on. I was too young, so, but yeah, man, but you know what? It made me the man who I am now,
Yeah.
Because in a way, it made me more independent, more humble as well, I talk to everybody. People that know me, they know my characters. They know that I have respect for everybody. I help a lot of people. As a matter of fact, I try to push people to grow in their way too, because it was tough coming, like I said, like from that to here, and start cooking and start doing all this stuff that I was not used to, right? But no, man, it made me humble. It made me start working. Start working since I think I was 15, man. And the guy that hired me, I told him, hey, as a matter of fact, I was working for an ice cream shop. That's how I started getting to know all the frozen stuff,
Nice.
So I was like, yeah. So he was like, yeah, I'm 15. Then he was like, no, you're 16. But I'm 15. No, you are 16.
Listen to
for
what I'm
legal,
saying.
yeah, you are. Put that on paper, right?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Yes, yeah, you're 16, man. So yeah, you know what? Yeah, so since I was a young kid, I started working on my own.
Nice.
I bought my first vehicle. So I started being independent on my own as that, right? But the only way that I could achieve that it's coming here to actually come into a place where I don't know anybody. I don't know the language, right? That was a barrier too. I still have some, like my accent.
Oh,
Yeah, you know.
I feel
yeah,
me, bro. I got the same thing.
I have the still accent, but
And the worst ones are the younger kids too that you go to school with, because they're the ones that are the worst.
Yeah.
Instead of helping you out more and like they try to make fun of you, like say this, or like like
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? I'm trying to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were mean. I got here when I was 11.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I was on ESL. I was on all that. You know, coming
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it was a huge turnaround. But yeah, man. You make me who I am now. You know,
That's cool.
being humble.
Tell me, did you ever ask your mom what made her take the decision to come to the U.S.? Like, what made her take the leap?
I did, but for so long I was in the dark. You know,
Uh-huh.
because family. You know, family's always could be good and could be bad. You know.
Yeah, it depends.
So yeah, so finally, you know, now that I came here with no, you know, nothing, no driver license, no nothing like that. So it was tough. Also, as far as that goes too.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So it was not something that okay, yeah, I come here with, you know, papers or nothing.
So
you know?
just to clarify, you were undocumented at the
Yes,
time when you
I
got here.
I was.
So do you remember crossing the borders and stuff right there, or not really?
Well, no, I came with visa. So
You
yes,
came with
yeah.
visa.
So I came with all that
Ah.
stuff. It just the process was longer, right? To get all my stuff. So I didn't get to do that. But as far as living here, yes, it was. I could see the doors closing on me, right? Because
I was asking for the documentation, and
yeah,
they're like,
they always
eh.
say, man, you know what? I was trying to move up in a company, and I was somewhere where okay, they gave me the opportunity, and then they were like, well, you want to become the store manager now, but you gotta go take these courses, and of course you need this. And I'm like, shoot, you know, I can't, you know. So and I had to quit. I either quit or I move on to another. So
Yeah.
it was tough, man. You know,
Yeah, I feel you.
I work in the service industry, man, all my life pretty much. You know, from restaurants to fast food. I worked for Sonic too for a long time too, man.
I used to
you
work
know?
for Sonic too.
Yeah, I used to work for Sonic
Yeah.
for tips and all that, man. And they always be like, man, you know what? I'm gonna, you know, hey, give you a restroom, and you know, like there's a spot open, but I cannot tell them, hey, you know what? I don't have my stuff. So it was
Yeah.
tough, right, on that end.
I feel you on that.
But you know what? But that also made me humble to actually open doors to other people because, you know what? If you want something so bad, you're gonna try to do something different, right, about your life.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me, how did you? So you're the owner of Lokito Cokito Bartending Services, but how did you come out with the Lokito Cokito? Does it mean something to you?
It is.
Uh-huh.
So it all started during the pandemic, right? I
Yeah.
wasn't even thinking about doing this, right? It was mostly just like everybody during the pandemic. They feel cornered. They want to do something else.
Right.
So to me, I started with one of my friends. His name is Fam. They call him Fam, right? I was so curious, you know, my curiosity about drinks, it just exploded. I was always doing that for homes or restaurants or whatnot, right? Working on the industry. But Coquito comes from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And one of my best friends is Puerto Rican. So we used to go to this Puerto Rican Thanksgiving. And that's how I got introduced to Coquito.
Yeah.
And it was creamy. It was something different.
Right.
And one thing I'm going to tell you, do not call Coquito eggnog because they will get pissed off.
Okay. Tell me the difference. I know it's not the same, and it's not.
Yes.
People want to compare it, don't. But what is mainly the main difference on it, as far as eggnog? Because I never had. I don't even know what eggnog is. I just know it's a
Yeah.
holiday drink, and Coquito I heard of it more recent. But what are the differences?
The difference between Coquito and eggnog, of course, the name says it on eggnog. It's made with eggs. It's creamy. It's a creamy base, milk base, right? Same as Coquito. The difference is that they use coconut. You know, they use coconut cream. They use coconut milk.
This is Puerto Rican.
Yeah, it's
and
more Puerto Rican,
yeah,
and it's
more
something
tropical.
traditional, right? So it's something so traditional that your grandma has. Everybody has their own recipe.
Their own recipes.
Yes. So how I blew up on this game, it was because everybody has that coquito, but they were making it like just the traditional flavors, right? So so one day I was like, you know what? Let me add strawberries to it. Let me add mango. Let me add all these ideas, right? All these ideas about coquito. And then I started introducing it to my friends and family right here, and they were like, "Oh snap!" Like especially the strawberry ones taste like
Yeah.
fresas con crema. So that's the name, Fresas con Crema Coquito.
Fresas con Crema Coquito.
Yeah, so that one blew up on me, man. That's till this day is one of my best sellers, man. The people love it. During the holidays, starting Thanksgiving or before that, people start already, hey, when are you gonna make coquito? When are you gonna make coquito?
Seriously?
Yes, man. I got a good follower on that. So that's how the game started, right? With this Lokito Cokito. That's why I had Lokito Cokito because Lokito is too, it's like crazy, right? Because of my ideas too. Because in the Puerto Rican community, I didn't get much like, what are you doing? Why are you changing?
Why are you messing up our stuff?
Yeah, why are you messing?
They actually
You're not even Puerto Rican. Yeah.
That's
you're
another thing too.
I got people like that, man. I don't want to mention names, but yeah, I got people like that. But I got also Puerto Ricans that support me, like my best friend, like Tony. He helped me out a lot. Hey, just don't worry about it. Just do your thing. So I don't care about people what they say. I'm gonna keep doing it as long as people like it. I start doing that. So yeah, so that's how I started. But then I was like, but coquito is just only through the holidays. So it's a seasonal item, right? It's during the wintertime.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to keep doing it. It's a good business. I'm building clientele. I'm building a brand pretty much, right? This little guy right there on my shirt right here,
that little
guy,
coquito.
That coquito, like coco and everything. So that's how it started. So pretty much I was just going to do something seasonal, right? But then I was like, but in my mindset, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You know what? I always wanted to be, I started different businesses. I started with real estate. I started with investing into Ameritrade. So I had different stuff, but for some reason it didn't catch up. Even Amazon, I was selling stuff like that, but it was something that it was just a job, right?
Yeah.
To me, this became a passion because I'm very passionate for drinks.
Absolutely.
And it makes me feel good when people try my drinks and be like, "Oh man, dude, you're the fucking bomb." Like, damn. I mean, you tried my drinks.
I seen it first. I seen it firsthand. I've seen the people. Anytime they go and grab a drink and you see their expression in their face. Yeah. And you'll be looking at it too, waiting for it. And it is that, as I've seen it with my own eyes. It's very nice.
Appreciate it, and that's something that hypes me even more because it makes me feel like, okay, you know what? I want to keep doing this. But in the back of my head, like, I cannot sell coquito through all year long because people don't want to buy it. It's too hot.
Too hot.
And it's creamy. And yeah, so I came out with these drinks, with this idea of having a frozen drink into a pouch, right? So one of them was the piña colada. This one was the one that started all.
Did they exist at all anywhere?
No.
They did not?
No. So, whenever the whole pandemic started, they barely start coming out with to-go drinks, right?
Yeah,
but I started this before that to-go drinks like actually was legalized and all that stuff, right? Now you see them. As a matter of fact, I was in the stockyards not long ago, and I asked the waiter, "Hey, I want a frozen mango to go." Yeah, no problem. And boom, they came out with this and their own logo. I'm like, whoa, like, hey, I started it. So one thing I could have done, I could have copyrighted that, and man, I could have made tons of money, right?
Because where did you get the pouches from? Or the idea of the pouches?
One of my good friends, he was just like, dude, I saw this, and but they were doing it for like berries and stuff like that, right? And I'm like, they put berries.
Turning.
So I started thinking, I'm like, okay, let me see if I can do that. So I grab a blender, right? And I just make my frozen piña colada, and I put it there. And I saw that texture that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not liquid because liquid is just wobbly. Like, this one, you can actually grab it and be like, oh, snap. You can actually, like,
It's firm. You can feel it.
It's actually firm. It's actually firm. It's actually something different, right? So I'm like, okay. I started like that. Then my friend Tony, he posted on his social media one day.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, guys, drinks to go, blah, 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 Lokito Cokito, I didn't have no clientele whatsoever. It was just something friends and family. I was doing it, And dude, it blew up on me, man. People started, oh, snap, I never seen this before. I'm like, oh, shoot, okay. You can take it to go. Like you said, look, put the straw, you know what I'm saying?
That little handle with the straw and everything.
Man. So, yeah, so the whole concept was perfect for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I started with that and it blew up on me, and I said, you know what? Let me start putting the
And you started with one flavor, the piña colada first?
Yes,
That's
the
the
piña
first
colada.
one.
Yep, that's how I started because I'm gonna be honest, here in Texas, man, they don't have a good piña colada. You know, you go to Florida, you go to Puerto Rico, you actually try a real piña colada, you know, and it's fresh. It's actually it's not it doesn't blow you like I try here, and I've been to so many places, right?
Right.
And I'm like, dude, I want to try piña colada, which is actually refreshing to drink. But no, I said, you know what? Cannot find it. So I'm like, I make my own.
Yeah.
And that's how people like it, man. As a matter of fact, one of my friends actually, it was one of her birthdays, and I did the whole thing for her. You know, I brought my blender. People like it so much because we were having like cookouts at my house, and for the football games.
Right.
So and people, hey Cesar, when are you gonna make piña coladas, man? So everybody started liking it, not only the females but the guys too, because people when they think about piña colada, it's just only like a girly
Like a
drink,
girly drink, like a
but,
female drink.
Yeah, but you go to Puerto Rico, you go to the Caribbean, dude. Everybody drinks piña colada, you know.
Yeah.
Here they had that concept, but when they tried, I'm like, dude, this is refreshing, you know. This is not bad. I'm like, okay. So now I have fellas even hitting me up, hey bro, I want
Yes,
when you
that's
come
like the
over here.
picture when you're trying to get away, like for everybody's like being next to the beach, sipping on a piña colada or a margarita.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Either one of those, you
Yeah.
know, because here you got so many margaritas are so great. So it's something that is not my forte per se, but more of the tropical drinks, you know. That's how my concept is, as you can see. You know,
Yeah.
it's more
Yeah.
tropical, more of different concepts that you don't see here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And so not only that, but as you mentioned earlier, you've been doing the service, but you do offer other services, right? Such as bartending services, margarita machine.
Yes.
You have your own premixed drinks.
Yeah.
These are the premixed drinks, or there's other options too, or this is just the ones you have?
These are four of them, but I have seasonal drinks too. You know, I start learning that, you know, if I have too many, it's gonna be way too overwhelming, right? But I stick with the ones that I actually sell the most, which are la piña colada. This is my Mexican candy, by the way. This is
Mexican
it's a
candy?
frozen Mexican candy, which is my own recipe
Your own mix.
that I have, and even my Mexican candy shots is there. People love it so much that is one of my hits to actually catch people to bartend because they're like, dude, I want you to do my service, you know, to they actually hire me to because of my Mexican candy shots, right? But I offer those and then my smoky margarita and that one.
I'm Mexican. I have no problem with you making, even from Peru, making a Mexican candy
Well,
shots.
that's good, man. You know, as a matter of fact, I was in Peru not long ago, and I was at my cousin's wedding, and I
Oh, yeah,
introduced
you were.
them that to that Mexican candy because they don't. In Peru, we don't have tajin or chamoy
Yeah.
or that kind of stuff, right? So when they tried it, they were like, "Is this spicy? What kind of spicy drink?" You know, like, no, dude, like, no, trust me, try it.
Try it.
Man. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I only did it for like maybe 10 minutes, you
Yeah.
know, to actually do that as a favor. Well, you know, try to show a little bit of what I do.
And introduce some of the drinks.
Introduce my drinks. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I was there for almost 2 hours trying to escape because people were like, dude, you gotta try this drink. You gotta try this drink.
Man.
So every time I go and even try to get something to eat, and then my uncle comes, Cesar, hey, I heard of your drink. Come on, make your drink. And, you know, of course, I cannot say no to my uncles, you know? So, yeah, that was almost for 2 hours. And then random people be like, can you make me a gin and tonic? I said, I'm not the bartender, but there's the bartender, you know, for today, but I can help you with that, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you do anything as far as the services in bulk? Like if somebody wants to order like a package, you know how
Yeah.
they do? Yes, so you do offer that?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I do. Just like you mentioned, you know, I have my rental service. I offer margarita rental service, but I make with my own mixes, right? I don't like all these mixes that you see here. They all made from scratch. Like my piña, I use real pineapple juice. I use watermelon juice. You know, I use lime juice, mango. You know, all that stuff. So that's what I am not your traditional margarita rental machines, you know, but yeah, some people like the experience of having an actual frozen restaurant style drink than just having not trying to bash anybody, you know, but
Serious trying to get in the conversation.
I know,
Serious,
right?
stop.
Stop.
So you don't just offer the machine itself. You want it to also be an experience within the rental, not just like, here's your machine.
Yeah, and
Just
that's it.
do
No,
it.
no. I go there. They rent it from me, and and I explain to them what kind of flavors I have, or some other people already tried these flavors, and they're like, "Dude, I want this."
Yeah.
Like I want to try like what a real strawberry daiquiri is. Like what a real mangonada tastes like. Not just some syrups that they just make it and just
Yeah.
because I'm not doing it for the money. And like yes, economically, yes, but I do it because it's a passion of mine to actually serve something good. And
Yeah, you do have the entrepreneur spirit as far as like supposedly they say you have to find a problem that there is and find a solution to it. And so far there's been a few problems that you've seen, like not having a piña colada and then coming up with the solution, having a container to go and then having your own so people can take their drinks to go. Before it was a cool thing to do. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, you definitely got some. And too bad you didn't copyright or did some kind of something so that way you'll be credited to. But looking forward now, So
yes,
yeah,
yes, definitely. All their ideas, definitely, I had to look it up into that because, yeah, once you put it out there, people start doing it,
Oh, yeah.
or maybe they didn't even see this, but maybe they have that idea. But if I would have copyrighted, man, okay, you did that, or now you had to pay me royalties.
Here's the thing though, because a lot of people, we all have tons of ideas. I really do.
Yes.
But until you actually take actions to execute and bring them to life, then there's just ideas. And there's always a person that will, like yourself, take the steps to do it and actually have it done while you're just twiddling your fingers thinking about doing it,
Yeah.
So that's the difference between you and them or other people and entrepreneurs, that they actually take action and do and execute to get results instead of just, well, what if this, what if that? No, this is what's going to happen. This is what I'm going to do. Look what I have. So,
And you said two keywords right there, man. Whenever you were telling me that, you said execute and the what if, right? Most people, they think about it,
yeah.
but they don't take that action, right? They say,
Absolutely.
well, I have that. And just like you said right now, it's absolutely right, man. Some people will, maybe they thought about this, but they didn't execute it, right? Or they do it, but they do it halfway, and I'm still in the process of learning a lot too, you
Yeah.
know? But I took the leap of faith, As a matter of fact, I took a leap of faith last year to where I quit my job, a really good job, It was a career mostly, right? But I did it because I wanted to see how far I can go, and which it brought me to certain steps in life as entrepreneur or as a business owner, because you want to not just be self-employed, you want to be a business owner, which is totally different whenever you had to learn certain skills, not just a passion, right? A lot of people do it just for the passion, but to me, you had to learn, for example, things that you hate to do. For example, like accounting,
Yeah.
people hate doing books. I hate it at first, but numbers, I like numbers. But then I was like, I like numbers, but now how can I do this, right? So I get back to work into an accounting, So I got back to accounting because I want to learn more about that, right? So I got a job. I started learning accounting, getting more into QuickBooks, in a business level, not just a personal level, because I needed to learn that. I needed to learn about insurance, right? About types of insurance, tax codes. Now I'm not that, So not only I do this, but I'm an accountant. I do taxes, and I'm learning more and more about that, because the end goal to me is to open a restaurant, to open a chain, right? Of what I do, of what I offer, right? But in order to get to there, to that end goal, I had to learn these things. I don't have to be 100% on it, but I need to learn the lingo. I need to learn the language of what it is, because a lot of people, they're very successful at what they
Yeah.
do, but they stick on their passion, only on their passion. No, man, you have to learn more than that.
Passion can take you up to
Passion
a
and
certain
drive.
place, right?
Yes.
Which is good to have that. But the fact that you're already thinking ahead of as far as the pieces and putting them together to when you do get to, I'm pretty sure, I have no doubt you're going to open your business because you already started dabbing in different areas to, even though you're not going to be maybe an expert in everything, but at least anybody that's working for you too, that they're going to be able to like rob you or anything like that, because you're going to know what to look for as far
Yeah.
as like the books, the finances, different things like that. So
I can speak the lingo now, and I can actually know the tax codes, right? Of as far as the business goes, right? And as a matter of fact, I was on Wednesday. I was actually with a good friend, is Jassy's Tacos. As a matter of fact, she's like a sister. Their family is like my family. You know, I consider them because when I started, they were one of the people that support me as well. You know, they introduced me to all entrepreneurs because I didn't know anybody. She actually reached out to me. She served my drinks. Oh yeah, you know, and that's how it started. You know, but she was working at this event with this not brewery. It was more like a kind of like a bar, right?
yeah,
It was a bar, and unfortunately, that guy decided to call it quits. You know, so I'm like, but why? You know, it's a nice area and all that stuff. But going back to what I was telling you, they did it because they're passionate, because they're dry, right? They went, and it's good to take that leap of faith, right? To get to know that. But guess what? They didn't know about how to run a restaurant, like really an experienced restaurant, right? They didn't know how to run, like, you know, negotiate with the landlord, you know, because there's stuff that there's clauses, there's tax codes that you can actually negotiate with a landlord about that, right? And I didn't know about that until I start getting into all these taxes and accounting, right? And the same thing that he told me that. He told me the exact same thing. I said, you know what? I wish I could get to learn more about the little pesky things that we don't want to learn, that we don't want to do. But I wish I could get more informed about it, that I could actually negotiate the price on the rent here, right? And all this and that. So I was like, you know what? You're a living proof of what I'm doing now, you know, because I want to be able to, hey, you know, they want 20,000 for this. Nah, dude. I'm offering you 15. You know?
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
It's good. I always say, not always, but more recently I've been saying that knowledge is not power. It's what you do with the knowledge that you have that it is a true power, because you can read all the books in the world and you know all of it, but if you don't do nothing with everything that you know, what is it useful for?
Exactly.
It's nothing. There's nothing there.
Exactly.
And the fact that you're willing to get those experiences that he didn't, it's like working out. It hurts. It sucks. But going through those little hurtful things, it's gonna help you. You know, it's better. It's good for you at the end of the day. So you have to exercise and do those things. Okay, so when you went back earlier, going back on when you went back to Peru on that wedding, your cousins, there was a story in an interview you did with Gael and PBO, the PBO interview.
PBO,
Can you tell us a little bit what that was for or what that was about, and tell us a little bit more about Gael's story?
Yes, absolutely. So Gael is my godson. I was in Peru. He has the West syndrome, which causes little Gael. He turned a year old not long ago. So I was there for his birthday, as a matter of fact, right?
Yeah.
So West syndrome, what happened is like you start convulsing. You have all this like your brain that doesn't functionally right, and the doctors tell him they're gonna give him 6 months to live, and that's it.
Oh,
Little
wow.
kid is such a fighter. He just turned one.
1 year.
But I was there. How it all started to get to me is because my mom and my family, my grandma, they're very giving people, you know, and I learned that from them, you know. So my mom started this small organization where she helps out families in need in Peru.
Right.
So this one time I was like, okay, you know what? I wanna follow the footsteps of my family, you know, my
Right.
mom. She's my role model. So I always look up to her on what she does. So you know what? I heard the story. I was like, you know what, man, this is something sad. And not even that, right? Because I look at my kids. I have kids. So when I look at my children and I look at Gael, it was like these families. It was cold, by the way, when I was
Oh
there.
yeah, it was cold.
It was
It
cold. I
looked
don't know
like
if
it
you
was
saw me
cold.
with my jacket.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
cold. It was one of the coldest winters they had in Peru because of the climate change that we're having right now, right? It was cold. And these people are outside the hospital, outside in tents,
Yeah.
like little tents, like
Yeah.
camping tents, man, waiting to get treated. And these people actually lived there because they had to wait on the help, because unfortunately the Peruvian government, it's not, they will help you as certain spot, like much,
To a certain degree.
to a certain degree, but they're not out there like kind of like here where we are blessed to, what, if they have Medicare or something like that, they will help you, regardless if you don't have money. There it's all about that, at the end of the day. And it's sad, right?
It
to
is.
see this baby, and see these other babies like that, man, too, and not be able to help them. But yeah, I did. I went there. I paid for their treatments, and I helped them with their with their basic needs, Pampers and stuff like that. So I bought them all kinds of stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm going to Peru again at the end of the year, which I am gonna bring also a lot of clothes. And I'm also, if you guys see this, and if you guys want to donate to as well, I will give you a link also, and where I'm gonna go and do the same thing.
Yeah, if you can send me the link. I'll add it on the details of the interview, so they can be there. So that way you can, it's going to be in 2 weeks, so it'll be plenty of time by the time you get over there. So if anybody sees that, it's going to be on the YouTube area. But if you're on another one, just go to the YouTube one. You'll be able to see the link to where it will take you, wherever. And the money is going to go to there because I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah, man. We don't take. I always say, man, if God bless me, it's my duty to bless others, that already need. And like I said, that has been tatted up in my mind. I always try to help as much as I can, if it's financially or supportive or motivational or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
It's just part of me,
Yeah. Okay. And what is your mom's organization? Is that already formed? Is there anywhere anybody can donate already now, or is it still in the works?
It's still in the works,
Okay.
My mom does it mostly for herself, but she have group of friends, Peruanos de otros países, from all the countries. And they're like, okay, because they know my mom. My mom in Peru, she's involved in politics, so that's why she knows all people, right? And that's why we get access to for example, like PBO, which is that very popular television, channel in Peru.
Yeah.
And that's how I got in contact with them. I told my mom told me, and she told that reporter, said, you know what, my son is coming, we're doing this. So yeah, so it was all about, okay, you know what, because people need to know that there are others right there outside, not only just people in Peru, but outside Peru that are willing to help, that and that's the whole message that I was trying to do when I was getting interviewed, because I even told the guy, I said, look, I'm not the type of dude that I want to be like, like those influencers, they see you with money and they take a picture. Now I'm not like that at all. But I told the guy, I said, I want to do this video because I want to promote the real, what is really happening in our countries in Latin America, not only in Peru, but other countries as well.
And then you can help even if you're outside of Peru.
Exactly, where you can help. But because a lot of organizations, there sometimes are corrupt, man. I'm going to be honest.
Sad.
You give them money, and if you do your research, man, a lot of that money doesn't even go towards the people in need, right? They go to the CEOs, they go to all that. And I don't want to put names out there, but there are some like very scheme, and when it comes to my mom and me, we're small, but we actually go and do the work, right? But now people are knowing. So this time, believe it or not, man, I got people message me like crazy about this. Like, when are you going back to Peru? I said, look, let me open an account, which I am, opening an account, which is going to be just for that. That way it won't go to me because I don't want to do nothing. If you guys donate, it's going to go towards the kids in Peru, right? Either baby formulas, stuff like that, right? Pampers, special needs, clothes. So this time I'm going with 2 big, like travel bags, man, And most of the stuff is not even my clothes. It's going to be clothes that people are donating to me or stuff that they need. but because of the travel restrictions of how it is,
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather take cash and buy it over there, right? Or financially, right? I can actually do more over there than buying from here. But if they want to donate toys or whatever, I'm welcome to, if I
Okay,
can.
so make sure you get a hold of you. Mostly your content will be on IG, right?
Yes,
Lokito Cokito.
yes, Lokito Cokito, yes.
Lokito Cokito. We'll put the link also on the video description. Lokito Cokito. You'll be able to find him. Who created your logo?
Man, as a matter of fact, I did.
You made it yourself?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, the first logo, this one here, it's a retouch, because of the pixels. But as a matter of fact, I did. I did create this little guy right here. One time I was just like, what can I do? And trust me, I have some other ones that they look, yeah.
No good.
Yeah, and this one, as a matter of fact, I like it so much that, it just got encrusted in me. But yeah, it's part of evolution. But yeah, that's
Awesome. Okay, so I seen on some of your videos, I think it was TikTok or IG, where you were doing some fire tricks.
Oh, yes.
Where did you learn those? And first of all, 2 questions. Where did you learn those? Well, actually 3 questions. How hard is it to do? And have you ever had an incident of something that went wrong on one of those tricks?
Yes and no. Right? Well, me, I'm gonna put it like this. In my personal life, I'm a risk taker and a daredevil. Like, I like to put myself out there, right?
You like the adrenaline rush.
Yeah, I am an adrenaline junkie. I'm gonna be honest, man. From hiking volcanoes to sandboarding, snowboarding, surfing, dude, like skydiving, all that stuff, right? But fire, for some reason, I'm not afraid. And I seen some people actually in Mexico that do that. I'm like, holy crap! Because here you don't see that kind of stuff because of the regulations. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I don't own a restaurant, but I can do it as a private service, right?
Yeah.
So I started Googling. I thought, you know what? I'm going to make my own drink, but I'm also put the touches that I learned into that. And that's how I started, man, with the flame, I actually put some alcohol in my hand and one then just light it up on fire. And I was like, okay, ouch, okay. Then I started, So I started with my own, right? See how, as far as I could go with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, people love it. I posted a video one day for my birthday. As a matter of fact, like 2 years ago, I did that. I invited a bunch of people, and guys, I'm gonna do a quick little show.
Yeah.
And from there, I posted on my IG. I posted on Dude, and people were like, "Dude, I want that Lokito package."
I like the one where you pour something and it just starts kind of like water falling down
into a flame.
Yeah.
So that's a cocktail. That's my Lokito Tower, I call it,
Lokito Tower.
Which I actually interact with the client, right? So like if they want that package, I can do it for them, right? But yeah, so I let the client interact. So they either pour it or they either do where the flame comes out, which is a little touch of cinnamon, which it actually expands the flames.
Yeah, that's the one where they throw the little thing. It looks like fireworks.
Yeah, it looks like
so
fireworks,
cool.
right? So it's all like a part of a show, right? And at the end, you drink the drink. So it's a drink, as a matter of fact.
It's an actual drink.
Yeah, it's an actual drink where you drink it, right? But
Right.
yeah, man, I saw it in Mexico, and I was like, you know what? I don't see it here. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own version of it.
And you even do the fire.
Oh yeah,
spitter.
I do fires too, man. Oh yeah, that one, man.
It hurt.
It does. I'm not
hurts?
gonna lie, man. It does. It burned my skin, and when they asked me to do that, I'm like, ugh. Yeah, for healthy reasons, I'm like I kind of stop. But if I do a big event where hey, you know what, I want to go all out, I'll do it. And I don't mind doing it again. But it does. Yeah,
It's got to be a real special occasion to do that one.
Exactly, a real special occasion where hey, man, either you're gonna compensate me really good. Because the next couple of days, I probably won't even drink anything because it numbs my mouth because I'm not used to it,
How long
right?
does it take to get the feeling back?
Like 3 or 4 days.
3 or 4 days?
Yeah, to actually get my taste buds again.
Ouch.
Yeah, and so it's not something that people that do it constantly, they know what they've been through.
Yeah.
But I'm just letting you know, like, yeah, it's not something. Oh yeah, it looks cool, but yeah, you suffer from that.
And was there any bad tricks that it went really bad? It could have been a big issues, you just kind of tamed it?
Yes, one time I was doing this private party, right? And I did the Lokito Tower, and somebody stumbled on the
Are you
on the
serious? On the
table.
table?
Yeah, because they were trying to do this, and it was not a good table, and the whole thing, yeah, it went
my
everywhere and
goodness.
just flew some flames. But it was outside, thank God, because I was telling that do not, I'm not gonna do something inside. No,
No.
yeah, I don't want to occasion a fire. As a matter of fact, the one that I did for my birthday, the flame got so high that the fire alarm start beep beep
Oh,
beep beep.
shoot.
Yeah, I'm
Are
like,
you
oh shit. And I was
serious?
like, oh snap, you know, I was like,
That's
oh yeah.
funny.
But yeah, man, that's yeah. It happens, man. It happens. You know, I burned myself too plenty of
Ouch.
times. Yeah.
Ouch. Well, good thing that,
No customers were
yeah,
hurt, by
good.
the way.
No
It was only
customer.
me.
Okay, so you try some pisco with a serpent in it. Is there
Yes.
any plans or adding any exotic any exotic anything to your drinks at all?
Man, when I tell you I'm a daredevil, dude, it kind of cost me my life that day. Cause man, yes,
That was
yes.
that potent. Was it the drink that was that
It
potent?
was
or was
that
it?
potent. Yes, yes.
Dang.
So it was pisco inside a snake, right?
Was she like a rattlesnake? No.
Yeah, some sort of rattlesnake.
Uh-huh.
So I was curious. I'm very curious about, and especially with drinks. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
even more curious. You got my attention when I'm like walking by the street. I'm like, ooh, I am gonna try that.
I'm gonna try that.
And yeah, so the guy was giving me a little like background. I say, okay, but the whole time I was looking at the snake. I'm like, the fudge. Okay,
It was a big snake, bro.
dude, it was like
huge. Yeah, it was
this,
huge.
man, and it was covered in pisco. I took the shot. I'm not gonna lie, man. For the next 2 days, I got food poisoning
From that.
from drinking that. Yeah,
Ouch.
yeah.
What exactly is pisco, if you don't mind me asking?
Pisco, it's a brandy.
Brandy.
Yeah, it's come from the family of brandy. It's made out of uvas, grapes.
Yeah, yeah.
But the distillation process is different than wine, right?
So what was the issue with that particular drink? Was it because it wasn't sitting there long enough in order to do it, or is it just not recommended to put an actual animal with
I
alcohol?
probably, you know what? I tried another drink like that before in Japan. For example, they got it's called abusake, habusake, which is a sake with a snake inside, right?
That's like rice liquor, right?
Yeah, rice liquor, but they put a snake inside. I think the problem was with that. It was probably just sanitation problems, Probably
man.
the snake wasn't clean right because they actually put venomous snakes inside, And abusake is like that. But if you see in Japanese culture, they're very strict when it comes to their sanitation. They're very strict on that stuff, right? So I tried before. So I'm like, okay, might be the same just with pisco. So I'm like, okay, cool. So yeah, but you just
They
gotta
didn't-
be careful.
they
Yeah,
didn't clean it.
Where
Yeah,
you
that
buy-
one was
yeah, where you
risky.
get it. So it was way too risky on my end. So yeah.
Okay, so you have a special drink besides all these beautiful drinks that you have here. You have a chicha morada,
Yes.
but it's with a twist.
Yes, it is.
Can you
Yes,
tell
it
me
is.
about that? And how many tries was it before you even get it right? And I don't know if you're going to be doing any packaging at all in the near future, but I know that thing is a hit for
It is.
sure.
It is.
And first of all, start explaining what chicha morada is first, and then we'll go from there.
Yes. So chicha morada, it's actually it's pretty much a national drink from Peru, right? It's based off Peruvian corn, which is the chicha morada.
Which is a purple corn.
It's a purple corn. Yeah, it's a Peruvian purple corn. It contains cinnamon, pineapple juice, lime juice, lemon juice, right? And it's boiled. So it has a process, just like the horchata, for example,
horchata,
right? Something very traditional that you go to any restaurant in Peru and they will have it. Si no lo tienen, it's because they're not really Peruvians.
So if you order chicha, if you go to a Peruvian restaurant and they don't have chicha morada, you're not in a Peruvian restaurant.
Yeah, you're not
Just
in a
leave.
Peruvian restaurant.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
But yeah, you're right. But yeah, man, that's something that we have in Peru, right? So very accustomed. But when I was over there, or every time I go, I don't see it as a cocktail, So it kind of triggered my mind about it. I'm like, I wanna try something different, right? So last year I had the International Food Festival, which is all kinds of different either mixologists, food vendors, and they requested me to do this drink. Like, hey, where you coming from? I said, well, Peru. Okay, great. I don't have nobody from Peru. I'm like, oh, snap. But I don't do like food. I do cocktails. I said, yeah, don't worry about it. Just come try to make some pisco sour or something like that. But the problem is that here, pisco is not so famous, right? So people don't know about it. So I'm like, I'm gonna do chicha morada because it's my favorite drink, by the way.
It's freaking delicious by itself.
Right?
It really is. I love it.
It's so refreshing. And I was like, let me put a little twist to it. So, man, all the trial and error, man, I'm going to be honest, it was a long way. I started with tequila, didn't like the flavor. I started with rum, I didn't like the flavor. I started, man, I don't know with how many other liquors I put.
I don't want you to give all the secrets, but it took you, how many tries you think, how long before you actually got the final product?
When I got the final product, it was, it took me a while, man, like maybe 20 tries. And 20 times getting drunk.
20 tries, and then finally you got the right mixture where it's now
yes, because you have.
What is your name for it?
I call it Inca Sponge.
Inca Sponge.
Inca Sponge, because kind of like in Mexico you got the Aztecs. In Peru we got the Incas, right? I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna call that Inca Sponge. But at first I was calling Chicha Morada because people got so familiar with that. Right now, as a matter of fact, this Irish whiskey company, they actually make a cocktail for them with my own touch in this.
Nice.
And yeah, so right now I'm also the brand ambassador of them too as well.
You want to give them a shout out? Who are they?
Yeah, it's called PJ Burns.
PJ Burns, shout out to PJ Burns.
Irish whiskey too, you know, they treat me pretty good. You know, good whiskey, by the way. You can find it at Goody Goodies. Right now, working on specs. So it's a new brand, but it's a very traditional way of doing it. Just quick history on whiskey. A lot of people think that whiskey was born in Scotland. No, man. Whiskey was born in Ireland.
Ireland, originally from Ireland.
The original. And now here in the U.S., you have whiskey, you know, and they copy from Ireland because Scotland, at that time in the 1600s, they copy their whiskey, but they only change. They put it's a E and Y, and they change it just to a Y. So I don't know if you ever pay attention to like Johnny Walker, which is a Scotch. It just has whiskey with the Y, but the original is whiskey with E and I. So,
I didn't know that. Nice.
Yeah. It's a quick history, man. But yeah.
So where the Inca Punch, where is it going to be? Is any place that you have, do you usually have it with you? Is there any way to request it now pre-made? It's not going to be a pre-made item? How are you going to do that one?
It is something that is, I rather keep it more exclusive, you know, to my bartending services, right? So if when people try it, I'm like, dude, I like this drink. Or what is this? Like, how can I get it? I said, well, you know, you ever have a party or something, I can, you know, go. Or if you go to my networking event, then yes, you know, or where I'm going to be bartending. Yeah. As a matter of fact, they have it at the Hilton Hotel right now. This called Sky Blue Bar, rooftop bar. I made it for them. They love that, their presentation. Now the Hilton is one of them that I'm still working with them, trying to see as far as it goes. But yeah, man, that's one spot they just opened and they like it and they still buying it from me. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good, because that thing is, you got to try it. It's a must try for sure. You got to definitely give it a, and good luck to it. I hope it keeps growing, because I think it's what has the feedback been from people from Peru as far as, like, if they feel disrespected because you add alcohol to a nice traditional drink, or how has the feedback been so far? So
far, man, the people, as a matter of fact, I don't have a lot of Peruvian friends here. You know, I have maybe 3 or 4 people, but they haven't tried it yet. But they know about it, but they haven't given me their honest opinion, right? I have another good friend that is a mixologist, and he does the same. You know, he had he's had his own touch, right? But we're all different, like, you know, and in a way, like, but people on his end, so far he told me that people has came out with a nice good feedback, you know.
Yeah. Did you make it when you went back, or you didn't make it?
No, I didn't make it when I was back over there, but definitely when I go back, then definitely.
In December.
In December,
okay, let me know how it goes. Let me see what the tickets. Okay, so you were part of the Carne Asada Fest 2 years in a row now, right?
Yes, yeah.
All right. How was your experience with the Carne Asada? Big shout out going out to
Sonia
Sonia Kilo
Kilo.
and company. And
yeah.
yeah, I was over there mingling around a little bit, and
Yeah.
I seen you posted up.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, how was your experience? How was that?
Man, it was actually it was a good opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I get to meet all these people, and Sonia, whenever I met Sonia, I just started, man. As a matter of fact, that was my first network event that I had.
That one was?
That one, no, well, not that one, but when I met Sonia, which was months back, right?
Oh, you did a networking event and she was there.
Yeah,
and
she
that's
was
when y'all
there.
met. Okay.
So I was having my piña coladas with the actual pineapple.
With the pineapple.
So Sonia saw it. She
Highly recommended too.
Yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, she saw it. She saw that people walking around with piñas. And like, who's selling this stuff?
You know how many people asked me about it when I was walking around with my piña? A few people.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
where's
like-
it at? Over there by the bar. Over there by the bar.
Yeah, man. So so I came out with that concept. Not only sell the drink, but you had to.
The presentation.
A business presentation means all, right?
Yeah.
So when I do my stuff, like, you know what? You can have the best cocktail in the world, but if the presentation is crappy, you're not gonna sell it.
Yeah.
That's all it's about. Like, this is presentation too, and that right there, dude. I give one on the first carne asada. I sold out. Like, I was one of the first ones to sell out, and I wasn't ready. I brought half of what I brought this time, right? Because I'm like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm starting this whole events, The first one was pretty good. Boom, sell out. The second one, I said, you know what? I'm going to be ready this time. Dude, I make the double. I make over 500 pouches. Dude, when I tell you, like, I was done by 5 o'clock. I was done. Like, I sold every single pouch that I have, every piña colada I had. And the only problem, I would have kept going, but I had issues with the power because my margarita machine wasn't handling. That was the only reason why I stopped, because people were coming to me and said, dude, I want another one. And not only piña colada, but these other flavors, right? I want this, I want that. And I'm like, sorry, man. I sold all the pouches and I had that. But yeah, man.
That's awesome.
And big shout out to Sonia, because she actually believed in me. She didn't know me, very well. I didn't know her either, but it was something about a leap of faith on people, right? And that's what Sonia has. She has that touch of getting to know people without knowing them. Like, okay, I believe in you. She does, and that opened doors for me a lot, man.
Yeah.
Now I'm into the point where I have other bartenders now. For example, on my bartender service, now I have other bartenders that work now with me, which I pass them leads. So I'm like a broker now of bartending services now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, but thanks to being exposed to that, I get to know other bartenders. They're like, oh, snap, I like your drinks, man, And yeah, I'll say, if you want to join me too, you can join me. So I got other projects as well. One of them, I'm thinking about opening like a bartending school, something like that.
That'd be nice.
Because there is other inspired bartenders. So everywhere I go, I bring my own menus, and they're like, okay, So I'm like,
Was that the biggest event that you did at that time when you were coming up, the Carne Asada Fest?
Yes.
Okay.
That
And
was
has
one
there
of
been other bigger events since that time?
them. I had the International Food Festival, for example. That's a big event. The one that is coming up for the Texas Food Fest on Sunday, by the way, it's gonna be huge, man.
Yeah. So this is gonna be pre-recorded, already out. But tell me about that one. Where is it gonna be at? How many people you expecting to get?
So far as we expected, it's gonna be the RSVP. It says about 6,000.
6,000.
But we probably
people.
have 3,000, half of that.
It's
But
still
still,
pretty
3,000
good.
is a lot of people. So, I've been getting ready since 2 weeks ago, man. I've been working on all this stuff, working on getting ready, because, it's going to be huge, and it's going to be a huge network event too for me as well. Not only just serving there, but also to people get to know my drinks and know what I do.
Is the Chicha Morada gonna or Inca Punch gonna make an appearance?
Yes, that was the first. So the planner, she found it and she's like, "Are you doing the punch?" I said, "Yes." "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes." I'm like, yes, will have the punch ready. So yeah, so that's like I said, that was a huge seller for me, and even in any community, they seem to love it. So I'm like, why not?
It's really good. It's highly recommended too. It's real smooth, nice taste. It tastes just like the chicha morada, except for other
the
stuff.
little kick to
But
it.
you can't even taste the other stuff. That's the crazy stuff. And then it's just sneaky. So
Yeah.
you got to be very careful with it. But
yeah.
that one was good at the time that I tried months ago. It was really good.
Appreciate
So
it.
I enjoyed it very much. Okay, so what other events do you have coming up besides the one that's coming up here shortly?
The Texas Food Fest. I have, for example, right now that you're talking about, there's a lot of tailgates. So right now I'm being booked. I'm being booked by a lot of tailgate parties right now. So that's why it's what is from September to the end of football season.
Yeah, February.
Man, you're gonna catch me at the stadium most of the time now, because a lot of different parties, they book me. Hey man, you know what? They have these huge tailgate parties, but since they see me last year doing the tailgate parties, they're like, oh no, I want you on my.
And the tailgate parties here in Texas and the Dallas area or Arlington, it's huge. It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal.
Oh yeah. People, they go all out.
They got multiple tents. They got TVs. They got DJs. They have all you can think of bartender services all laid out.
Yes.
It's huge.
Yes. So for that right now, I'm gonna be pretty busy. And then on top of that, we got corporate parties right now because the holidays start coming in.
Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up too.
Yes. So this past month of August, I kind of was easy on myself because I want to take time for my family, which are my kids. And time to myself too, because I needed a little break. Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So August was a slow month as far as business goes, but I have the other bartenders, help me out too. I pass them the leads. Like I said, I have my bartending service still working, right? So I
ran into one of the gigs. Like
I remember that quinceañera that we had. Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, okay, bro.
Working the mic.
I know, working the mic, by the way. Really good MC, by the way. So
make sure I shout you out.
Yeah,
to go check you out, take care of you.
I know. I was busy the whole time, man. Good. Like I said, and especially with the Mexican candy, dude. Yeah. That's that one, and the chicha morada is one of my best sellers, especially that as far as the cocktail or the shots.
Okay. And earlier when you came in, you said you had something big that you were in the works. Are you able to talk about it yet, or are you not able to talk about it yet?
Not yet, because it's not structured right now.
Okay, good.
But
bigger things to come, though.
Bigger things to come, yes. Okay. Bigger things to come. That's why last month it was a month for myself development. So myself to analyze what I'm going with this. Not just only this business, but all the businesses that I'm trying to work as well, right? My mom and my family always, my grandma and my mom, pretty much, they told me, never put all your eggs in one basket. So I got that too, and like I said, I don't know how many tattoos I got in my head now, but
so you have this one for sure. Then you have other stuff that you've been working on and waiting to it. Okay.
Yes. Good. It's just part of. I want this business to actually promote my other business. With the revenue. So once I have different businesses all together, then hey, I can achieve what I want to achieve, which what we all want, financial freedom, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's hard. It's not easy, and one thing I would tell entrepreneurs is this: when you feel stuck, because I feel stuck at one point for a long time, man. We're gonna take this like, always look for change. Sometimes we think change it's something to fear. We like to be comfortable,
right?
But whenever we get comfortable on something, we just don't progress, right? And that's why when I see other business opportunities, business ventures, I'm very open. I might not know the business, right? So there, but hey, it's all about learning. It's all about like, hey, if you can do it, why not? I cannot do it, right? But it's a process, right? It's where you drive. But yeah, that's a business that I'm working on right now. I cannot say many details right now because it's not something concrete. But yeah.
Maybe we'll have a follow-up later on.
Yeah,
we can talk about
course,
those.
absolutely.
But the good thing is that you are actually looking into those things as far as like if you're stuck or not stuck, but let's say you're kind of plateau, you're kind of like where else can we go? What else can we do? Instead of just being there and being happy, let's analyze and see where else can we take it. And that's good because some people might just be like, okay, I'm good with this.
Yeah. And it's not something bad because a lot of people have different goals, you know? Everybody has their own goals. You have your own goals. I have my own goals, you know? Doesn't mean that you have to follow what I do, right?
Yeah.
But in my case, I want to achieve, you know, when I see my grandma, when I see my family, you know, in Peru. Quick story about my grandma, you know, she was an immigrant too in Peru.
She came from?
Her parents came from China, you know.
China.
So it was something different. You know, her parents died at a young age. You know, she was an orphan. You know, his brother was taking care of her at one point. But whenever I heard the story, my grandma come from a very poor background. She was selling, I don't know if you ever heard of cocadas? Like those little coconuts.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
So
I used to love those things.
Yeah, man, you know, and to me, it's very meaningful because when my grandma tells her story, she came from nothing, man, like literally nothing. It was her drive. She told me like, yo estaba con una velita with a little candle, actually reading, like, you know, like that, like outside. She didn't even have a real bed, right? She was just, you know.
That's crazy.
It is, but it was her drive, man. You know, that pushed her into having this company, this clothing company. Not only that, all the businesses, real estate, all that stuff, right? That she has. So to me, I look up at my grandma so much. She's actually my role model into this. And as a matter of fact, coming here, I was talking to her, you know, because I always like to have her guidance. My mom too, you know. But my grandma is mostly like the one that I look up to as far as business goes, right? There's good things and bad things like everybody.
Yeah, of course.
But I always like to pick, you know, like stuff that I can learn from her, maybe my mom or somebody else too.
All the things not to do.
Yeah, all the things that not to do, of course, because nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. But to me, my grandma was somebody that, you know what? She came from nothing and now she's living good, you know?
What's her name?
Lydia.
Lydia, shout out to Doña Lydia.
Yeah.
Big shout out to
AKA
you.
La Mama Lydia. It's going to be her 80th birthday. That's why we're going.
80th birthday.
80th birthday. So her birthday is going to be on January 1st. So that's why I'm going to Peru
December.
because it's going to be for so long. Me and my stepbrothers, we haven't been together. And this year for her 80th birthday, we all going. So it's going to be a good family reunion, you know?
That's good. That's
and
awesome.
We, como se dice en español, we throw la casa por la ventana, you know, we do a huge party for my grandma.
You going back to the Dunes? I think you went to the Dunes last time, didn't you?
Oh, yes, yes.
Like,
I went to the dunes.
Cars?
Yeah, I went to the sand dunes, man. Oh, man, it was beautiful. So one of my passions is traveling, you know?
Yeah.
I always dream about that. But back when I was telling you I didn't have papers and all, you know, like that means to travel, right? Even financially, right? I was like, I always look at pictures and I was like, and now I'm in that stage of my life where, you know what, I can financially do it, you know, but always, of course, responsibility first, right? My responsibilities come first, but one of my hobbies is that is experiencing new stuff, new places. You know, and for example, I am going to Dubai in a couple of months.
Oh,
you know?
really?
Yeah, I'm going to Dubai.
Just taking a vacation over there?
Yeah, I'm going to take a vacation.
Go over there.
Yeah, it's always been on my bucket list, you know. And then, you know, I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to Dubai because I want to.
Mine's Panama first. No, Costa Rica first.
Yeah.
And shortly after, I should be going to Dubai too. So that way they paint the pictures, Dubai,
man,
it's like a freaking amazing place.
I know, and I seen it. I seen the pictures. I always seen like on Instagram people like do it, you know. But it was always on my bucket list. So I do have a bucket list, by the way, you know. And growing up, I was like, when I get to a certain point in my life where I can actually do it, I must start doing it, and not just thinking about it. So I actually had to write it down, man, in a little book.
That's good.
You know, where I have stuff like that, man.
That's good. Okay, let's touch up on something that you want to talk about because you wanted to address a little bit, just for the fact that some people do take advantage of other people, which was pyramid schemes.
Yes.
Got nothing to do with the bartender or anything, but the fact that people want financial freedom, people want different things as far as a job, and then there's people really good at selling them something that is not real, and then it's not okay to take advantage of their hopes and dreams and everything, aspirations as far as wanting to be free of a job, and then
Yes.
prey on certain things that they want to, their dreams. So tell me about what you wanted to talk to me about on that part.
Yes. So this happened last week. You know, I was approached. I'm not saying names, but I was approached, and they were talking about mentors. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm always down to learn something new. Cause so this person was talking about mentors, this mentor, that. And the way he caught my attention is because he was reading a book of John Maxwell. I don't know if you know who he is.
I don't.
He's a motivational speaker,
Okay, I got you.
entrepreneur. But I'm very familiar with his book because in business, that's in the business world, he's a very well known. So I'm like, okay, So I saw him say, hey man, you reading that book? I said, yeah, I read that book, And then he started talking about his mentors. I said, yeah, my mentor's this. I'm like, okay, I'm curious. I said, well, so who are your mentors? Well, I cannot tell you right now, So he started like that, like with that intrigue, right? How about we, have a meeting,
So he started pitching you from the back already.
Yeah, from the back. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I have my mentors. My mentor was the one that gave me this book. I said, okay. So to me, that book in the business world is actually a good book to read. So I thought, oh, maybe his mentors are into real estate. Maybe they're into something, some sort of actual business. So I'm like, okay, you know what? And then we started having a conversation about that book. And then he said, you know what? I'm going to let you, I'm going to see if I can introduce you to my mentor. I said, oh, shoot, that'd be great. Of course I'm down. I mean, if these people know what the lingo of business, I'm definitely down. Because the kid, because he was a young guy, he was on his 20s. I'm like, okay, so yeah, why not? But first we're going to have a meeting, me and you. So where your mind is, I said, of course, I'm like, you're going to try to, okay. I'll let him do his thing. All right, why not?
Why not?
All right.
You never know. Maybe
you never know.
Maybe some youngins are smart nowadays, and you know some stuff you might not know, which is possible.
We had to be open minded.
Yeah,
so
of course.
and I am very open minded about it. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool. So I went. I was changed numbers. He gave me his number. And then all of a sudden, I receive a call. Hey, you want to meet up at the Starbucks, man? I want to talk to you before you meet my mentors. I want to make sure that you how your mind is, as far as that goes. Like, will you be committed to, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, why not, I can share my story about, what I do, and where I want to go. Because at the end of the day, it's not only owning a business what I want to do. I want to become an investor, That's my main goal, to my business pay for everything, pay for my lifestyle, pay for my kids, but also invest into other businesses. That's my end goal. So I was like, okay, why not? Maybe they have something else that I don't, that I might learn. So I went, we had a talk for like over an hour. The kid was like, you know what, yeah, you seem like you have a good mindset, on what you want. I explained to them what I do. Okay, cool. Let's have a second meeting. Let me talk to my mentors and see, if I can schedule something. But first, I want you to read this book. Like, okay. So, and it was about Robert Kiyosaki, which I am very familiar. If you guys don't know, it's Rich Dad Poor Dad. Is one of his.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's in the business world. It's very popular.
Also.
So I know the author, but it was called Business of the 21st Century, I'm like, So if you read this book in 3 days and you committed by it, the next time we have a meeting, I'm going to ask you about the book and, get to know. I said, sure, why not? I love reading books, by the way. So I'm like, easy peasy for me, right? So, okay, cool. So I was actually motivated by the intrigue, right? Because he was intriguing me because I wanted to know what kind of business it is, but he didn't want to tell me. So I started reading the book. It was a multi-level marketing stuff. So I'm like, I heard about it. I didn't know much about it, but I heard some good things and bad things. So I'm like, okay. So I started doing my own research, right?
Right.
And I start seeing all this stuff, man, like scamming. And I'm like, whoa, this is not a good business strategy. But maybe the kid just gave me this book maybe to know about the business. So I'm like, okay. So the next time we have a meeting, I already have questions for him, right? Because I want to get to the bottom of this. Because just like any business deal, either you invest in or you're gonna be in a business venture with somebody. Because that was his term, being a business venture. So I'm like, okay, I'm down for that. I think I qualify. Like to actually be in.
But
a
you want to
business
be
venture.
informed because it's your capital at the end of the day.
Exactly. So look, if I'm going to invest my money, I'm going to make sure what it is. So I end up to the second meeting, to the second meeting, right? And he, we start talking about the book and change and how this new business concept is going to revolutionize the whole business. The old style of getting a paycheck is something that's already, obsolete. You have to be your own business entrepreneur, and the only way is to be a network marketing. So he was trying to pitch me all these ideas, right? But at the end, I did my own research before him, right? And that's what most people get catched on. I told him straight up, is this a MLM, that this is a pyramid scheme, right? I'm like, no, it's not. I said, well, tell me how it works. That's it. How does MLM work? I don't know about the business. I just want to know how the multi-level marketing works. So he told me, well, there's this one guy here, and we recruit, and then we form a team, and this team, we sell these products, and this team actually recruits. I don't know if I can say on the radio, but it was, you know what? I don't care. It's called Amway,
Oh, that one.
Yeah. So it was that. I was like, okay. Okay. But then I start digging more into that. And I don't know if you're familiar of Nancy DeBose.
Yep.
Our old educator.
Yeah, education.
Yeah, ex-educator.
Secretary of Education.
And you heard all that stuff that she was not qualified to do.
She was not qualified.
She wasn't.
No.
Guess
not
what?
because one is not politician, but you can tell where she's coming from. She has nothing to do with education whatsoever.
Exactly. So when I start digging on that stuff, I'm like, you know what? This is a whole scheme, not only in the business level, but also with politicians.
In the political world.
That the Boss family are one of the people that actually are involved in politics. So, and they own Amway, and they own this all small level marketing businesses. So I mean, they make billions out of that, and they, when I see facts, this is facts. They actually were one of the ones that actually gave money to the Republican parties, right? To actually get.
That's how you get. That's how you get a voice. This is
Yeah.
That's how you get a voice in the political world. That's how you get to be able to mingle with the upper level of politicians. If you don't pay, there's nothing to. Not to mention, once you contribute to their campaign, it's hard for them not to answer you back if you're gonna keep wanting to pursue a re-election in the future. What kind of face are you gonna give them if they gave you a donation, all of a sudden you turn and gave their back? Then the next time around, you want to what? Oh no, homie, you're gonna repay me to what I had gave you before. Even though it's a contribution, it's not a contribution. It's not free money.
Oh no,
And
nothing
this is not
is
only
money
one
is
politician;
free.
it's every single one of them.
Yeah. So my next question to him was like, okay, in business, it's simple as that. It's all about you give and you get, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works. Nothing is free in this world. In business, even worse.
Yeah.
You know what? If this mentor, they say that I could qualify. What do I give them in return? Like my time, money, of course, if we're talking about business investments, because in my back of my head, I thought that was the whole thing, that like maybe this is a good business opportunity to get into. I was thinking about stocks or something, where I can learn. And I don't mind paying for mentorship because it's always good to learn, but the right mentorship, right?
Yeah, it is important for Latinos to be open to mentors. Mentors meaning somebody that's been there, done that, that can kind of sort of not literally coach you step by step, but literally you run into a wall and you don't really know which way to go, and they can might help you sort that out and grow in your business or whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
It's a great thing to have mentors on the specific thing that you're, or just somebody that you want to. And a lot of the mentors, as far as I know, some are willing to give you the information for free. You just ask. You just got to find the right ones. And some of them maybe a lunch or something we'll be happy with. And some of them might be asking for a payment, but you have to look into the things. I don't like the word research so much, because research to me, it takes me to like scientific type of stuff. I'm talking about really looking to the individual. What is that they have done, and based on what you're looking for, this is somebody that it'd be beneficial for your business to talk to, so you can help you get to a different level, because they've been there and done that.
Exactly.
So nothing wrong with mentors.
No.
But this is keeping their mentors 2-3 steps ahead before creating intrigue, trying to sort of tap on your, not necessarily a necessity, but your dreams and hopes of wanting to be successful, and then sell you something. I was like, man, that's so sad.
Pretty much it was just selling a dream.
Yeah.
And once we finished, I was, he became very aggressive in that kind of way. Like, no, this is not a pyramid scheme. This is not that. He didn't want to tell me the business at the end. But like I said, I started checking and stuff, like, and it was the same way from the approach, from the whole steps. I already knew what company was,
Yeah.
because now we have the power of the internet now. We can actually Google that stuff. We can actually find ways to actually find those answers. Back in the day when they started that company 40 years ago, there was nothing like that. There was only people that, hey man, you want to make some money in 2-3 years, you can retire, because that's their whole concept is you're going to retire in like 2-3 years. I'm like, oh shit, who doesn't want to do that,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's always a couple, by the way, too. Oh yeah, I'm working and my wife is not going to, she's in the process of quitting her job to join me full time on this. So it's always that.
So they move from that model to an individual.
Yeah. So they play with your feelings. They become your friends. They become friendly. They start digging into, like so what are your goals? So so they use these tactics of
And why do you always
friend.
have to go to this conference and pay money? Why? Every single thing and say you this. It's like those courses that they give you, like those YouTube courses that like, oh, put your email here. And then like, oh, they give you a lot of somewhat information that's very vague. And then, oh yeah, in order for us to give you the next one, you have to buy this course. I'm like, what the heck? But you didn't tell me. And you just keep it going and going and going and going for the next thing. You'll never get anywhere. Same thing with these dudes. They just keep having conferences, give them the money every single time. And then you just keep fishing. Kind of like that carrot with a stick. You're just kind of chasing it the whole time, but you ain't never going to ever reach it. You're just going to be there just chasing away.
That is true. And if you look at those multi-level marketing, like even you Google it and you said, who is the top earners of this whole thing? 99%. It's facts. It tells you there too. 99% of these people lose money in this business.
A lot of money.
And the top ones, the top 5 or 3, they're the ones that are making that money, because it's pretty much you had to buy their supplies. You had to buy their subscriptions in order to keep on that. And once they feel like you are trying to quit, no, man, they bring all these mentors, which are like influencers. Like, no, man, you're almost there. Don't give up and keep doing and pretty much keep paying my subscription. Know.
So do you feel those top 5% were put there because they know the people up top, or here and there sometimes they let one individual all the way up so they can tell their story that they came from the bottom to the very top?
It is a scheme, It is like you said. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that some of these people, like even dude, like I was really digging into this whole situation where there are companies where they actually pay like Money Mayweather, for example.
Yeah,
dude. I was like, what? Money
He gets
Mayweather?
a lot more money than...
Oh, yeah. But you see, how come they don't put Jeff Bezos? How come they don't pitch this? if this thing is make you rich like right away and quit your 9 to 5 and quit that mentality, how come they don't put Buffett or Bezos or
we go back to
or
the
Bill
earlier
Gates?
thing that you said, like as far Bezos saw a problem that needed a solution, and he worked on that with a passion, and that's how he got to. He started with books, and that's why he became to, like, same thing with Zuckerberg. All of them had a problem that needed to be solved, and they put all their energy and effort on fixing that problem. And then, except for Warren Buffett, he was just really good at investing way back. But he saw that there was a lot of ways to do it, and then he kept and Buff is the one that took the longest, because that fool has been investing forever.
Man, he still does.
And still does. And it took him years for it to get to. I'm not saying that it's not possible for you to maybe overnight become something. It's very rare. But for you to keep it, it's going to be difficult if you haven't gone through the steps of taking the lessons of different things like that, or even responsible with your money to be able to maintain it. It's just not going to happen for you. You have to be able to take those steps. And like you said, when you were working on the ice company and the ice cream shop, and you didn't know exactly, well, look, years later, it didn't pay off till now, where you are able to work with that ice and you'll be able to make your drinks. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Certain things don't make sense going forward. I think it was I forget who it was, Steve Jobs said a speech. A lot of the times things don't make sense going forward, but looking back, you'll be like, so that's why I needed to be at the ice cream shop learning these things.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing for everybody else. You need to be able to know that certain steps have to be taken in order for you to get to the place you need to be and be successful, because selling you all these courses, selling you all this multi-market, it's just not going to work.
You had to, people that take shortcuts, it's never going to take you anywhere.
One of the guys told me cutting corners
Cutting
just
corners.
creates a circle.
Yeah.
Meaning that you just be going in circles the whole entire time. And
Yeah.
you're not going to go and advance anywhere. Yeah.
That is true. And that is so true, because even me, I was thinking, how can I do this? Like, there are ways to cut corners. For example, like, okay, what if there is a person that has that product already that I don't have to invest my time on, right? But I became partners with that person, right? So now my drinks are coming out better than what it was. And now my time instead of, cutting all the mangoes in the world, right? When I started, or doing my pineapple juice, right? I look for people that do that as a living, right? So now I had more time to invest into other things, right?
Yeah.
So cutting corners, it could be good and bad. But the right way to cutting corners is like that. Okay, I want to make this, but it's taking me so much time to cut it, to make pineapple juice, fresh pineapple juice. How about if I go buy it for a certain amount of money, and then you put your time and money together? Okay, if it takes me 3 hours to make this juice, and now I just buy it from this person, right? It costs money, correct. But I have 3 hours of my life that I can work on something else or do something else. So that way it'd be more efficiency.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to call it cutting corners. I would call it more efficient with your time, because time you can't get back, but some of the summer you can recoup and generate more product that you can put out in the world than to having to cut all the pineapple and stuff like that.
Yeah,
all right,
true,
brother.
man.
Well, running short on time. Real quickly before I let you go, once again, remind everybody, where can they reach you at? Where can they get at you?
Yes, so you can reach me on my Instagram. It's called Lokito Cokito. It's LOKITO _COKITO on Instagram.
Yep.
I got my Facebook. It's Cesar Reyes, CESAR REYES. And then there you're going to see a picture of my my Lokito Cokito brand. And also you can find me on Facebook too. And if you want to book a service or want to know more about it, I'll give you my phone number too. It's 214-606-8660. Anytime, free quotes, you name it.
All righty. And any shout outs, anything? Any shout outs to anybody you want to do?
Yes. And shout outs to my mom, to my grandma, to Tony, Nico, to all my friends that actually stand by there and actually believe what I was doing, because that is something too that I had good support system too, into what I do. So big shout out to all my friends and my new friends that I met in this whole industry,
Right.
because, for example, you too, man,
Yeah,
big shout out to
absolutely.
you. And I appreciate you inviting me into this, because if it wasn't for what I'm doing now, I probably would never meet you, or be here. I mean, we still be friends, but I'm not being here, I'm
You're
talking
right.
about my drinks and my products.
Yeah.
But yeah, big shout out to all of y'all, man, that y'all still going. Jassy's Tacos too, man. They are, they're like family too. So yeah.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Well, the thing that trips me out the most, again, your beginnings to where you had to make your way over here without having documents to, working it, and then to find something and then thinking that there was a problem, and then even if it was a different culture, giving it your own twist and not being afraid to take a risk. And then not only that, but also implementing different things that you already have, like your native drinks, and then giving it a little different something. To me, I feel like those are the things that make somebody a global Latin factor. Just to me, Cesar, you are a global Latin factor, sir.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
One last question. If anybody was to Google you or search you in the future, what would you hope for them to find of you or Lokito Cokito?
To me, it's more like to find more about myself, about my company, about what I do, and become a difference, become a Latino, a proud Latino, and when they Google me, okay, you know what, this guy is doing something,
Yeah. What about Lokito Cokito?
As far as Lokito Cokito, yeah, man, one day I want to have my own chain of restaurants, man. When they Google Lokito Cokito, they're going to see bartending services. They're going to see all these crazy drinks with flames and whatnot, stuff that is very unusual stuff, right?
But delicious.
But delicious. Yeah, there you
Awesome.
go. Yes, very unique drinks.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much. This was another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Remember, we are just like you. We are the spice in this melting pot that it is the world. Till next time.
Peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much for checking out this episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. If you are enjoying the content and the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers so we can bring you more episodes, more channel. Go like, go subscribe, go write a comment. We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
What is the la Vigo? Walks like a pero but in fact is a flamingo. Coming to Havana and reach from Puerto Rico. On a pirate ship, you don't know where do we go. The birds of the jungle chasing fortune and